I cannot think of one guy that's been injured during the court storming. I've been involved with a lot of court storming. The only issue I ever had is a Georgia Tech student bumped into me as I was walking to the locker room. When the other team students rush the court, I still have the ability to walk to my locker room and get out of their way. I've never had an issue. Never had a student walk up to me and try to start anything. And listen, I caught a lot of hate, and so there's a lot of fan bases that didn't have a lot of respect for me and could have done something, but they never did. I just hate the argument that we shouldn't allow students to rush the court. And some of these guys' arguments or their solutions, as far as I heard somebody say they should just detain everybody that's on the court and give them I thought that was –
Bill said that. He said that, yeah.
And he's a pretty smart guy. I couldn't believe he said that. And then somebody else said that the home team should just forfeit the game. Well, I mean, you can't control a student body like that. I mean, I haven't heard a good resolution to court storming, and I haven't seen a reason why it should be stopped. I think it brings nothing but joy to the game, and it gives a lot of the fans excitement, and that's what separates college basketball from professional sports. Is like there's a pride and there's like an energy that you don't get at professional sports unless it's a playoff or a big game. And I think banning court storming would take away a lot of what makes college basketball great.
Okay, so I agree with John for a few things. One, if there are going to be court storms, I think safety precautions need to be done a little bit better. And by that, I mean, why wouldn't you have security at least rope off a little bit of a section? Brad Brownell was pushing kids back too. So there gets to a point to where two things. One, Clemson, you're winning a lot of games. It's about time to stop court storming. You're good enough. Don't listen to the AP and think you're not ranked.
I agree with that. That's the most controversial thing about it to me.
Why is Clemson court storming now? You've been at the top of the ACC for 5-6 years now. You shouldn't be court storming anymore. Stop court storming. You're supposed to win. He's built the program to where you're supposed to win. It's time to stop now because you're expected to win at home. That's how good your program's been. You don't have to do it anymore. The only thing is, I agree with John that certain safety precautions should be taken, and they should be taken more seriously. So I think there needs to be, at least 3 yards from that sideline to where they can shake hands and then get the heck out of the way. And I'm with Tyler. I don't think that any student body members really have any malintent when it comes to, I'm going to storm and I'm going to get in somebody's face. I don't think that's the case. I do think that there's a chance that things could accidentally happen. And I also know, you have a lot of testosterone-filled dudes that just took a loss. Things can't go well sometimes. And sometimes you just got to, throw it over your shoulder and take it. But at the same time, I do think they should be at least roped off. And I think there should be easier established ways for the opposing team to exit if that's the case. For example, Vanderbilt, they came on the court from the side of the court, so the teams could get out. At Clemson, you have to walk across the court to get out. Maybe you put the benches on the other side just so it makes for an easier escape route for some of these guys. I do think some of those things need to be thought about, and I don't think you ban court storming, but I also understand outside of Tyler's teams back then, over the last 6, 7, 8 years, I think Duke's the only team that people have been court storming in the ACC, so they see it more than anybody else. For that matter, I think they see it pretty much they're the only team who has seen it. So I could see why he's frustrated. I understand the want and the need for a little bit more security, especially after what he perceives as poor security at Wake Forest last year. I don't think that was the case this time. And you talked about a shove. I didn't see every angle. I thought it was very specific, clipped out. But I just think that there needs to be some more precautions taken just so you don't have to feel comfortable because you just got your hind parts kicked. But at the same time, you need to be able to feel comfortable and safe getting out. And I think there's a spot where some guys don't feel safe at that point.